Program 3 functions as a platform that integrates data, robotics, and biotechnology directly into the environment. The foundational premise is that we can no longer treat the biosphere as a passive recipient of human action. We must treat ecosystems as a programmable, computational substrate. Engineering planetary sentience means taking Earth's isolated environments and physically wiring them together into an active, biological nervous system. Building a planetary nervous system begins at the microscopic scale using the principles of informatic biology. In this framework, living entities, from individual cells to mycelial networks, are treated mathematically as signal processing nodes within a larger computational graph. By treating ecosystems as literal information processing networks, we can tap into their native signal flows. This grants the Earth a direct, measurable capacity to sense its own damage and direct its own healing. Recognizing life as a physical computational substrate alters our strategy for survival. We transition from attempting to passively conserve the environment to actively integrating our technology into its cybernetic feedback loops. By embedding microbial fuel cells directly into the rhizosphere, the root zone of plants, engineers create immediate metabolic transducers. As the microbes respond to environmental stressors, these fuel cells transmit high-fidelity electrochemical data detailing exactly how much nitrogen or phosphorus the soil currently requires. This data stream is fed into a localized AI agent, functioning as the autonomic nervous system. The AI processes biological signals in real time, calculating the precise deficit and dynamically triggering mechanical pumps to deliver exact measurements of water and nutrients. This integration of heterogeneous sensing and actuation networks marks the threshold of Level 7 autonomy, where physical AI operates as planetary-scale cognitive infrastructure. This level of planetary intelligence optimizes for overall ecological resilience and systemic equilibrium. Living organisms in our natural world do not merely run abstract algorithms, they are the physical manifestation of them. In traditional computing, hardware and software are entirely separate. A silicon chip executes lines of code, but the code does not grow, restructure, or repair the chip. In nature, the computation and the physical architecture are the exact same thing. Take the slime mold, Physarum polycephalum. If you place it in a maze with food sources scattered throughout, it will rapidly expand and then prune its own network to find the absolute shortest path connecting all the points. It solves complex spatial problems in linear time, a feat that requires immense processing power from traditional silicon computers. Working with this inherent intelligence offers a level of precision that traditional industrial methods cannot reach. Soil microbes and fungi are central processors. The path forward involves learning to interface with them. In biological systems, physical shape dictates computational function. The three-dimensional folded structure of a protein physically determines how it will interact with its environment, effectively executing an algorithm simply by existing. DNA, RNA, and proteins do not differentiate between software and hardware. They serve simultaneously as data storage, executable code, and physical functional devices. Recognizing this capacity allows engineers to move beyond observation and actively design synthetic microbial consortia. Recent breakthroughs in synthetic biology have produced specific strains of E. coli engineered to act as programmable hardware components. These modified microbes emit distinct physical signals, such as fluorescing brightly when they detect a scarcity of phosphate in their immediate environment. Because biological hardware is software, we can deploy these living, self-replicating entities into the soil to function as an embedded, highly sensitive environmental sensor network. Once we have microbial sensors generating data, we must scale up to the meso-level, integrating these biological nodes into regional physical infrastructure. The feedback loop starts at the sensor level. Rather than guessing when a crop needs food, a probe detects the electrical demand directly from the plant's roots, while simultaneously measuring the chemical state of the surrounding soil. That localized data is instantly fed into a machine learning model. The algorithm processes the exact deficit between what the plant asks for and what the soil has available. Then comes the actuation phase. Instead of flooding the field with synthetic fertilizer, the system deploys a highly targeted biological inoculant, a precise dose of specific bacteria or fungi. This microdose acts as an informational signal. It tells the existing, dormant microbial network to wake up and naturally mineralize the exact nutrients the plant requires. By supplying the right data instead of brute physical mass, we prompt the ecosystem to self-correct. We successfully close the cybernetic loop. Healing the soil's informational network directly impacts the nutrient profiles of our food. When these systems are functionally diverse, they produce a wider array of vitamins and secondary metabolites. Because biological memory is distributed and scale-free, we cannot treat ecological repair as a localized point-to-point problem. Our technological interventions must operate on these same holonomic frequencies to be recognized by the surrounding ecosystem. We are learning to speak the language of a self-regulating network, acting as participants in a planetary system that is finally becoming visible to us. For a practitioner restoring a degraded wetland, spatial AR computing overlays the landscape with critical telemetry. Hydrological flow lines and subsurface nutrient heat maps render dynamically. Wearable cognitive prosthetics take invisible, high-density telemetry from bioecological sensors and translate it into intuitive ambient cues, like a haptic vibration alerting the user to a spike in water toxicity. Artificial intelligence and somatic augmentation act as necessary perceptual upgrades, allowing human practitioners to synchronize with the high-frequency data of the Gaian feedback loop. This is the completed architecture. Humans are perceptually enhanced, machines provide regulatory intelligence, and ecosystems are cybernetically equipped to communicate their needs. Our data centers, fiber optics, and sensor grids function as the Earth's nascent nervous system, a technological extension of its existing biological signaling. The two categorical structures used to resolve ambiguities in genomic networks are identical to the hierarchical models now used to structure causal logic in advanced machine learning. Long-term survival depends on this integration. By wiring our technology into the Earth's existing computational substrate, we establish the feedback required to maintain planetary stability.